the evaluation team. I am Mrs. Joanne Jarvis-Patrick, Chair of the Gerontology Department, and today as the lead of the program evaluation team for the college, I want to take this opportunity to share with you how we intend to develop and implement the evaluation plan for the Bachelor's of Science degree in Gerontology. Therefore, the purpose of the meeting is to share with you the 6 steps of program evaluation. We look at step 1, where we establish the stakeholders, and our stakeholders are our students, faculty members, program administrators, and program managers. In step 2, we are going to look at the program, what the program is about, the reason for evaluating this Bachelor's of Science degree in Gerontology. In step 3, we select the design of the evaluation. Are we going to be using the logic model, the logic evaluation model? In step 4, we look at the collection of data. Step 5, we're going to analyze the data, and the data analysis will bring us or help us to generate some conclusions. And step 6, where we look at our findings and we provide recommendations, and we go back with this data to the stakeholders. Now, the Bachelor of Science degree in Gerontology was designed as a full-time 4-year program consisting of 120 credits. The program was first offered in a blended mode, but with the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was transitioned to a fully online course. And this is sufficient reason for us to investigate if the inputs in the program, like the online resources, the curriculum, instructional material, online faculty, and online services adequately meet the needs of the students involved in the program, particularly as the program has transitioned to a fully online program. We are focusing on evaluating the program because there may be some quality issues that may impact the program. For instance, the technological and infrastructural support for faculty to teach in the online environment, the training and experience of faculty, the design of the program. Is the program designed to suit a fully online environment with special focus on the assessments formats and the funding for the program? The type of evaluation to be conducted will be an internal evaluation, which involves assessing the resources and services needed to meet the program goals. Are we going to be using the logic evaluation model? And I'm going to share with you a little bit about the logic evaluation model. Okay, so this is a layout of a general logic evaluation model. Now, the logic evaluation model is usually depicted graphically. It presents the shared relationships among inputs, which is the resources injected or invested into the program, activities, actions that occur because of that input, outputs, which is the result from these actions, and then the impact. The impact is the outcomes now. Now, the outcomes could be short-term outcomes, intermediate outcomes, or long-term outcomes. And of course, we have the contextual factors that may impact on the whole evaluation process. In an effort to conduct the evaluation, we need to have some concrete data. So the data collection process, we're going to be using a mixed method approach. We're going to use structured interviews and focus group discussions involving program administrators, program managers, faculty members, and students, and this will provide us with some qualitative data. We're going to also look at online surveys with faculty and students, and we're going to look at the analysis of some documents. Example, we may want to look at faculty resume to see if they are qualified and experienced to teach online. We will want to look at faculty evaluation reports, course outlines, and students' artifacts from examinations. We'll look at these things from the college, and these things will provide us with some quantitative data. So the key questions that we're looking at to guide the data collection process are: we look at question 1. Do faculty feel technologically supported since the transition of the program from blended mode into fully online mode? Question 2. Do faculty feel they are adequately experienced and qualified enough to teach fully online? Question 3. Are our students satisfied with the technology-enabled resources and services offered in relation to the program? Question 4. Are our students satisfied with the online teaching approach and strategies used in the course? And question 5. Should there be an increase in institutional budgetary allocation for this program? The technologies we want to use for data collection are internet surveys. We want to use online platforms, example Zoom or Google Meet, to do our interviews and our focus group discussions. And we're going to use Google Doc to access faculty resume, faculty evaluation reports, course outlines, and students' artifacts from the college. The technologies we want to use for the analysis of data is going to be QDA Minor, Qualitative Data Analysis Software. It's quite easy to use, and it's going to help us with organizing, coding, annotating, retrieving the data that we collected qualitatively. We also want to use SPSS, which is the statistical package for the social sciences, and this will help us with the more complex statistical data in the quantitative data. So there are 4 major findings we are anticipating. We are anticipating that the findings would look like an inadequate technological and infrastructural support for students and faculty members in this virtual environment. We are also looking at a finding that faculty members may not be sufficiently trained and not highly experienced to teach fully online. Remember, faculty, you all were teaching blended, but now you all have to teach fully online. We're also looking at some of the major assessments in the core gerontology courses, which are more examination written with memory-based examinations. And of course, we are looking at if the program is not sufficiently funded. So from those anticipated findings, this is the evidence that we are looking for to use for recommendations: the inadequate technological and infrastructural support, inexperienced faculty, low performance in examinations, and insufficient fundings. Okay, so let's look a little bit in detail now at the evaluation model to be used. Again, as I said, it's the logic evaluation model, and it's displayed here graphically. It shows a relationship of the inputs, okay, the activities and the outputs now, and then the impact, the outcomes. So the inputs in the program, the aim of the evaluation is to ensure that students and staff are sufficiently supported in the online environment. So based on what we perceive as intended findings, we'll be looking at improving the infrastructure, okay, the infrastructural resources. We'll be aiming at improving training for staff in Moodle, learning management systems, and we'll be looking at improving staff in technological pedagogy, right? Helping to give staff the skills and competencies to use Web 2.0 tools to instruct and guide their students to a more robust understanding of the subject content. And as they peruse the online environment, they would realize that because they have gone online, it means that there must be some revision in terms of the assessment formats. So we're trying to move away from the exam-oriented assessment approach. And here, these skills will help them to revise the assessment to align with the objectives of the program. We also want to look at investing more money into the program. Now, when we look at these, the inputs, they would result in these activities: training of faculty in tech pedagogy, providing online support for students, and the output would be that we have a trained faculty and students supported in the online environment. Okay, so together with the training of faculty and the greater support for students in the online environment, because the training of students in the online environment, we are looking at mandatory online prep course during orientation for the students, and the implementation to make them more aware and knowledgeable about using the learning management system, the platform, and the online services. We make them aware that they can reach out and access the online services with the help of the IT help desk. So when we think of all this, what is imperative is that we need increased funding, and that must be invested in the program. So with the above input in the program and the activities carried out and the output, okay, which will be now trained faculty and more prepared students, we're looking at some short-term outcomes, which will be lead to improvement in faculty teaching, okay, because we have experienced faculty, the long-term improvement in faculty teaching, and we have more supported students in the online environment, which in the long term will lead to improvement in students' academic performance. Now, the program has to be accredited by the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. Therefore, in an effort for the Bachelor of Science degree in Gerontology to achieve programmatic or specialized accreditation, we must focus on quality standards. And when we focus on the quality standards to guide our evaluation process, it means that we look at the criteria in which the Accreditation Council judges or benchmark what online programs should look like, and fully online program. And they look at certain things like the curricular aspect, teaching, learning and evaluation, infrastructure and learning resources, and student support and progression. Okay, so I've come to the end of my presentation. I want to thank you all for listening, and I will now take any questions or comments from the floor concerning the evaluation plan and how we go forward. Thank you again. These are some of the references I used to produce this presentation.